Western Rural Services Charleville sells filters, lubricants, polypipe, stock feed, steel. Western Rural Services Charleville sells tanks, swags, hay, vet supplies, produce. Western Rural Services Charleville sells everything for the man on the land.
We're here today to go through the troubleshooting of the power doser used to put on Avenge for lice control. The power doser for Avenge is a 60mm power doser. Some of the problems we do have with the power doser in the field, we are here to show you today how to find these and get the applicator working for you. The biggest problem we do have is the suction of the product from the 20-litre drum up through your delivery hose into your power doser. If it's not sucking, the first thing that we check is that we go to the T-bar, remove the T-bar and check the front valve to make sure that it is there and is in place. When you put the mushroom into the spring, shake the valve. If the mushroom sticks, you know that the mushroom has not lost its shape. If it does not sit in there correctly, replace the mushroom from your spare parts kit. It's important that the mushroom fits into the barrel as is shown. If that's all okay and you're still having problems in sucking the product up, the next point to check would be your draw off to ensure that there's no air leakage around the bends. If it still has problem, check your hose to ensure you've got no holes in the hose. After that, we would find that you will have to pull the power doser down, which will show you how to do that. What you need to do that, you need a pair of pliers and a pair of multi-grips. First of all, remove the T-bar from the front of it. Take it out, take your front valve out. It is important that you do have a flat, clean place when you're removing the parts. Unscrew your barrel. Unscrew your adjustment nut from the back. Using the flat of the table, press down, get hold of your piston rod, inlet valve by the pliers, gently turning anti-clockwise, and just slowly turning your inlet valve. In the inlet valve, there's a white round ball and a fine spring. You have one spring. At the end of your plunger, there is a little O-ring. Your spacer, your second spring. By pushing your plunger forward, you'll see in the front of the handle there's a large black O-ring. Push the handle forward, then just push it back through and remove a solid piece of plastic, U-cup, and a solid O-ring. So there's your power doser pulled apart. The other important thing with the power doser is that when you are delivering the product, it is important that you have your your regulator for your gas regulator set at 45 to 50 psi. This only adjusts the delivery speed of your product. It has nothing to do with your suction part. Some people believe that they turn this up, it should suck better. It is important that, again, I say 45 to 50 psi. We'll now put back the power doser together. First of all, we pick up the handle, we take the large black O-ring, place it in the handle. The plunger, ensuring that we have the orange O-ring, push it through the handle, turn it over. The solid O-ring goes on first. The U-cup, with the U-cup facing down, push it onto the, run your finger around. This seals the back of the gun, so the gas will push the plunger forward. So it's important that the U-cup is down. The solid, that goes on over your U-cup. Your first spring goes on, push down. Your spacer, push it on. Then you get your inlet valve. The little white ball goes in first. The little fine spring goes in second. We push the second spring on, holding on a firm table, push down. Your little O-ring sits just on the top of the back of your plunger. Picking up your inlet valve, gently tip it over and thread it on. It's important that when you tighten this up that we do not over tighten it. Again, we just push down using the tweezers to grab the, use the pliers and just turn it till it's firm. Over tightening can break the thread on your plunger. Remove your tweezers. Taking a 60mm barrel, again the mushroom faces down. That's very important. You then get the T-bar, put the T-bar on your barrel. And with your power doser, we've got lube. At that stage, take it off, put a little bit on your finger, run it around the barrel, run it around your orange O-ring. Just not a lot, just a little bit. Put your barrel on. Again, this is where we do have some problems of over tightening the barrel. Only needs to be firm. Again, taking the adjustment nut, putting it back together again. Get it in the And with your 60mm, you've got adjustment with this and you've got adjustment with that. So there's two adjustments on your 60mm. So that's the disassemble and assembly of the power doser. With the other one that is for me is the 30mm. All the O-rings are the same. The difference is the barrel size, and in the back you only have one spring rather than two. With the variable weather temperatures that when we're applying Avenge, we've found that in the warmer weather that we can have a problem with the power doser overfilling product. What occurs is that when the plunger comes back, the product thins with the warmer weather, and then we get a slight spit of product out the front. To stop the overfill of your power doser, we insert what we call an inlet reducer, which goes into your inlet fitting, as you can see, then pushing your hose over the inlet fitting and that reduces the flow of your product, which will stop what we call spitting out the front, only to be used in the warmer weather. Another troubleshooting problem we can have is leaking of the trigger valve. This will get a consistent flow of gas coming from around your trigger. In your spare parts kit, we supply a spare trigger valve, a little brass fitting like this. To replace it is quite simple. Remove your barrel for ease of access to your trigger valve. In your spare parts kit, you get a very fine Allen key. You put that into your trigger button. We loosen that. Remove your trigger button. Using a 3/4 Allen key, go to the back. Undo your grub screw that's in the back of your trigger valve. Which is that. By using your Allen key, just gently push and out will pop your faulty trigger valve. Picking up your replacement out of your spare parts kit, place it into the back, gently push it in, replace your grub screw, using the Allen key to tighten it up, again firmly, don't over tighten, just use a pair of pliers, firm it up. Using your small Allen key again, place it into the trigger button, putting it on, tighten it up and tight firmly. Make sure your rubbers are in the right spot, replace your barrel and we're away ready for use. With the valve that you've taken out, it can be soaked in methylated spirits or similar type product. Usually it is only dirt sitting underneath the O-rings. That will dissolve it overnight and you'll find you'll be able to reuse it. On completion of application of Avenge, it's important that we clean our applicator. Using a good quality olive oil, pump it through your line and through your gun until you find the product will clean the olive oil out. It will clean the Avenge out. Remove the barrel using a clean rag, wipe the barrel out, apply a little bit of lube in your barrel and around your O-ring, put it back together. It's important that we don't leave product in the gun and in the barrel for long periods of time. With the Avenge power doser, it comes with a spare parts kit. Articles you get in a spare parts kit is you have the front, that goes on to your nozzle, a trigger valve, a front mushroom and spring, orange O-ring for the plunger, large black O-ring for the handle. Into the back of the handle we firstly put the solid O-ring, The most important one is a U-cup, with the U-cup facing towards the gun. Solid plastic that goes on before the spring. The little O-ring that is used on the top of the plunger. The ball and the little spring, putting the ball first into your inlet fitting with your spring and your reducer valve. It also comes with lube that we recommend that you do lube your gun each day before using. All parts on the power doser are replaceable and can be bought as an individual item. You will find the parts list in your power doser when you purchase it.
Western Rural Services Charleville sells filters, lubricants, polypipe, stock feed, steel. Western Rural Services Charleville sells tanks, swags, hay, vet supplies, produce. Western Rural Services Charleville sells everything for the man on the land.